This movie broke me. Oh, you see my hair? That's from trying to pull it out from watching this movie. And I thought that Bulletproof 2, what is going on in my ear? Broke me. But this movie, oh boy. And I've seen this movie before. That's a problem. So hello there. Hello there. Hello there. I'm Scotty, and you're not, and we're talking about Son of the Mask. So here's a bit of a story. I've seen this before, like I said. I bought the 2-pack a long time ago. Because I wanted this one. And I just dealt with this. When I bought the first one on Blu-ray, I got rid of the disc. I had nothing to do with Son of the Mask. I know. I don't hate the movie, but I know it sucks. Jamie Kennedy. I like Jamie Kennedy, but this movie, when I stand up for him, people point out this movie and I can't defend him. I can't. This movie, you'd be like Jamie Kennedy. I like Jamie Kennedy. What about Son of the Mask? Yeah. I can't defend everything in this film is a bad decision from beginning to end. There's just no, and this is for children. It's a PG-13 movie, but it's for children. It's PG. Fuck, it's PG. And there's some horrifying images. A dog trying to kill a baby, and sure they do it in the style of Tom and Jerry, but that's become politically incorrect as well as the violence in those cartoons like Roadrunner and Coyote and Tom and Jerry. That's not correct anymore because you shouldn't promote violence to children. And this movie came out in what, 2004? I don't know. But the biggest problem is that people not only hate this movie, but they blame Jim Carrey, and it's not his fault. Jim Carrey did not want to do this movie. He was going to, but Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, flopped at the box office. So he said, no, I'm not doing any more sequels. Until he decided to do more sequels. He did Dumb and Dumber 2, and all of a sudden, hey, The Mask 2 and Ace Ventura 3, they're up on the board. And now, oh, I'm retired. I've done enough. Make up your mind, Jim. Make up your mind. But the problem is, you don't need Jim Carrey. But Jamie Kennedy is not the right replacement. They had a replacement in the first film. And the idea of Loki coming to look for his mask and being the villain of the second film could work. It could work. Alan Cumming, probably not. Someone more serious, maybe. I mean, Dorian Tyrell was a very serious villain. He bounced his villain, kind of was the antithesis of Jim Carrey's Mask, and it worked. Here, one, the Mask, the character of the Mask, is not in the film that much. He's in the beginning, he's in at the end. He's just Tim Avery. Sorry, I watched the Blockbuster Busters. Tim Avery for almost the entire film. Because they decided that the focus is, because for kids, we're not going to have the Mask be the main character of a fucking movie called Son of the Mask. Because it's called Son of the Mask, the son is going to be the character, which could work. Look at Son of Frankenstein, Son of Dracula. They focus on the sons, right? It makes sense. But I remember seeing this trailer and thinking, how is Jamie Kennedy the son of Son of the Mask, they showed Jim Kennedy with the mask thing. I'm like, how is he the son of Jim Carrey? Are they like close in age or like 10 years apart? I'm like, what? No, it's not that. It's the baby that's born of the mask. And like I said, the idea of Loki being a villain in the sequel could have worked if done right. And you don't need Jim Carrey to do it. People say, oh, without Jim Carrey, it's like, we don't need Jim Carrey. There was a character in the first movie that could have carried on the legacy of the mask. Peter Riegert played Detective Calloway. In the comics, Calloway became the mask after Stanley Ipkiss. All you would need to do is have this take place a few years later. Maybe not wait 10, but a few years later. He's been fired. He's disavowed. He has no, the only person in the world that still talks to him is Doyle. Doyle? But then he finds the mask, and then Loki comes, at the same time, Loki comes looking for it, played by an actor who would take it more seriously, and Riegert is forced to put on the mask, and while he would still be kind of goofy, I think it would be a more serious take. Probably wouldn't be for the kids, which is not what they want. They wanted this movie to be for the kids, but I think this would scare children. I believe it will scare my kid, and he's seen horror movies, actual horror movies. We've watched Scream. We've watched It Chapter 2. Scary stories to tell in the dark, which is still somehow not as scary as this. I've seen horror movies that are not as scary as this. Think of the scariest movie in the world. The Exorcist? Bullshit compared to how scary this movie is. Let me tell you. They say Exorcist is the scariest movie ever made. Watch Son of the Mask. You'll piss yourself. Swear to God. So what's the story? The story, Loki is looking for his mask, which has landed in Fringe City and found by Tim Avery's dog, Otis, which is also a Jack Russell Terrier like in the first film. But they did that because the first film, the dog was named Milo. Now it's named Otis. Milo and Otis were a cat and a dog. A cat and a pug, to be specific. Yeah, I don't know how that works, but we only have one actor returning, or one character, it could be the same character. One actor / character returning from the first film, that's Ben Stein, playing Dr. What's-His-Face, talking in a museum about the mask, just so Loki can come in, take his face off, put it where the mask is supposed to be, and then find out the mask is a fake. We have Bob Hoskins, the late great Bob Hoskins, may rest in peace, playing Odin. And it's just... So Tim finds the mask and decides to wear it to a Halloween party where he turns into the mask, I guess you could say. He's got hair, which is always really weird. I don't know why they gave him hair in this. Jim Carrey had hair and they still made him bald. It works better. I don't know why he has hair. Oh, he has to look like Jim Carrey. Well, the first one had no hair and he still looked like Jim Carrey. So, the mask doesn't have hair, okay? Yes, I know when Dorian Tyrell put on the mask, he had hair. But that worked for his character. It was like a mob boss type thing. It worked. So I guess... But if the mask is the main character, supposed to be the main character of the movie, supposed to be the mask, it shouldn't have hair. I'm just saying. But, Tim, he's a wannabe animator. He dresses up as a mascot for the animation studio. But he wants to be an animator. Tries pitching stuff to Stephen Wright. I don't get why Stephen Wright would make a good boss. You need someone who could, I don't know. He's monotone, just doesn't work. But Tim's wife keeps talking about wanting a baby. And he's scared of being a father, which is a normal fear. When I found out I was going to be a dad, I was scared. I was like, oh, what am I going to do? I'm a janitor. I clean up shit for a living. But I've done pretty good the last 10 years or so. So, 10 or so years. He's 10 years old, so. But, yeah. So, because he's wearing the mask, his inhibitions are gone, and he has sex with his wife. But the baby's born of the mask, as they say, and Now Loki has to find the baby. And the baby acts like the mask with cartoony sound effects and stuff because it is born out of the mask. And then he gets the idea, because it was all the attention, to kill his father. And then the dog wears the actual mask and wants to kill the baby to protect the father. And it's just... Meanwhile, Loki's on a quest and dressed up in weird costumes to find the baby. He finally does. It takes him like over a year to find it almost. And this is the frustrating part. He has the baby. He's won. And because we're short on runtime, Odin shows up, takes the powers away. Even though he has the child, he could get the mask very easily. Just say, hey, find the mask. Tim will go looking for the mask and he'll find it. But no, because we're only halfway through the fucking film, he's got to take his powers away so that he's pushed in his quest. I don't know. Yeah, so we got more shenanigans. As the dog is still wearing the mask for some reason. And then Loki pleads to his father, I have the baby. I'm right here. He's in the baby's room. Right here. I gotta just give him my powers back and I can bring the baby to you and get the mask. And so he takes the baby, gets his powers back, takes the baby, and then Tim is forced to put the mask back on after he goes to Otis and gets the mask back. There is a lot of stupid ass jokes in this film I don't want to talk about. The one that maybe really just, I don't know. So his wife goes on a business trip and leaves him alone with the baby. That's like a big uh-oh moment for him. But because Loki wants the baby back, he comes in disguised as the mom. And Tim freaks out. So when the mom actually comes back, the wife, whoever comes back, he attacks her. And it's like, what? This is supposed to be funny? He's attacking his wife. But that doesn't really mean anything because they just decide, hey, we have to, rescue our son from Loki. They got a mischief. And then that lady who has a nose for a head now walks in, so now she has to believe him. And they go, and he puts the mask on, and yeah, there's a fight. There's like a dance sequence at the beginning of this where he does different versions of I Can't Take My Eyes Off You. Warner Brothers likes putting those in their movies. Scooby-Doo. Oh wait, that was a deleted scene. But there's a deleted scene where Velma sings that song for some reason. And now it's in this movie. But if you want a big fight at the end, you don't, because it's a family picture. So instead, Odin shows up, berate Loki again, and Tim talks to both of them and gives Loki the mask, and he says, hey, here, fathers and sons, they need to get along, right? Because he's got his own son. And yeah. And the movie ends with them finding out they're going to have another baby. This one will probably be normal because it wasn't born of the mask, as far as we know. And the movie ends. That movie sucks. But it doesn't frustrate me like Bulletproof did. Bulletproof 2 did. I just say that it's not worth your time when it comes to this movie. Don't watch it. People say, oh, it's like Emotion Fury. If you're thinking of it as a direct sequel to The Mask, and you're thinking this is going to be similar to it, yeah. But I went in knowing what it was going to be. If you go in knowing what it was going to be, even if you haven't seen it before, if you go in knowing it's not going to be like The Mask, it's going to be different, you won't have a good time. You know what? I'm changing my rating because I see it now. This is not a bad movie. In fact, there's only one category I can give this movie that will be satisfactory enough for me. In my opinion, Son of the Mask is so bad, it's good. That's what I'm saying. It's so bad, it's a good movie. I'm just saying, with all the goofiness, it's a grade A piece of shit. But it's so bad, it's good piece of shit. So, yeah. So what am I doing next? God, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it. This movie wrecked me so much. Probably take a shower. My hair's not poofed up. I don't know. But movie-wise, should I do another one-off? How about this? How about we finish a franchise? What movie left? You have a franchise where the first film, it's a horror franchise. The first film is pretty good. All these movies are directed by women. The first film is pretty good. The second one has a cult following due to a certain rockabilly killer. The third film, not as much. Haven't seen it yet. That's the one we're going to do. And the remake is a piece of shit because it's all about female empowerment and it ruins the whole story. You haven't figured it out. So, till then, what are your thoughts on Southern Mass? In the comments below. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.